So, Raindrops, today's episode is going to be a fun one because I am here with heartthrob, okay, actor, now reality star, which we'll get into, but also a friend of mine for many, many years. Yes, we're talking to Insecure star, Kings of Napa star. He played Dr. Dre in one of the best Lifetime movies ever, based on Michele's life. I am talking about my boy Curtis Hamilton.
Yo, the introduction, bro. Dang. You love me, huh? That's a real friend right there. Because you definitely sold me to these people.
No, listen, you are somebody that, again, we've known each other for a couple of years. Um, Let me explain to the audience. So I met Curtis at Equinox because
I was the gym in LA.
it's the gym in LA where everyone goes to, whether you're an actor, reality star, entrepreneur, real estate mogul, an agent. Everybody goes to Equinox. So, funny story, Curtis is the nicest guy in the world. So here I am trying to get my smoothie, and he's like, "Yo, are you that guy that works on this show called Hollywood Divas with my boy Dorian?" And I was like, "How do you know that?" He said, I saw the reunion. Dorian's my guy. And ever since then, we've been cool. So, Curtis, you are on Reality with the King podcast.
I know I
How
must have
the,
made it. I made it here. Friend or not. If I made it here, either I did some drama, which is or I don't know. I don't know what's up your sleeve. So I'm just letting you guys know. I don't know what he's about to ask me. I don't know what this interview is going to lead to, but I am just going to be open and we'll have some fun. Let's do it.
let's have some fun and let's get right into it. So, like I just told the world, my raindrops, we met a couple of years ago. And one thing about real friendships is we don't dive into anything super personal. So let's just kick things off. Obviously, you're now on this show called The Real Friends of WeHo that's on MTV. Um, the network said it is about a group of friends who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. We've known each other for years. We talked all the time. Curtis would call me for personal advice and professional advice. I never once asked Curtis about his sexuality because one thing I want the world to know is, and I think this is really prevalent in the Black gay community, we don't ask each other's questions about each other's sexuality because we know that that's something personal for someone to reveal themselves. And the one thing I love about the Black gay community is the fact that we do respect each other's boundaries and space. Whether we may know, we're not going to tell other people because we know that it's a process that you shouldn't force anyone out the closet. So, as your friend Curtis, I never asked you because it wasn't my business. Now, did I suspect? Absolutely. I suspected if I'm keeping it real, but I never asked you. So, what is the status of your sexuality that you want people to know? And did that go into you being a part of this reality show?
So yeah, man. Where do I begin? I just to kind of just start with the show. I came out to my parents last Christmas. I had my Christmas movie, right in around the Christmas tree. Came out on Lifetime. We were all watching it, and I was going into a ceremony called ayahuasca, and I wanted to go into the ceremony with a clear mind, clear intentions, clear everything. And I felt like I was actually seeing somebody at the time. I was like, I can't going to the ceremony. And first off, I've been wanting to tell them. My sister and my brother were encouraging me. I thought this was a great moment. I just was like, man, I don't want to do another year because this is what happens. I come back to LA. Christmas is always the big we all together moment. And I didn't want to have another year go by because I wasn't going to do it over the phone. I just wasn't. So I took him upstairs after my movie and I told him, and I said, this is not for me I'm not trying to trying to make you understand. I'm not trying to come here for you to try to change my mind or any of those things. I said, I'm just coming here to let you know what's going on in my life so we can get closer. We can be more honest with one another. And hopefully you can be more honest with me, whatever's going on with you. Because like you said, we do not talk about things. So I went in there with the clear intention of I'm saying it, I'm going to hear you out, but you can't change my mind. You know, I even throughout the whole Lady Gaga, I was like, we born this way. You know, I think people are born this way. I don't really believe that this is some type of like just a choice that you make or some fun little thing you get into as you growing and maturing. But you know, but it's hard for anybody that doesn't have those feelings to understand that, and you just got to meet them where they at. And that's just kind of what I told my parents, and they know how much I love them. They know how much I care for them, and they know I'm still a man of God. I still believe in God. I still, you know, believe in all those things, but I also have made my own relationship with Him. And I'm leaving it at that. Like, no one's going to tell me what type of relationship I should have with God. And you don't know what God's thinking. None of y'all met Him. So all of the judging and being a judge and a ruler and all of that stuff, you know, you kind of come content to who you are and what the type of person you are. And you just got to be happy with that. So I decided to do the show because.
Well, before we get into the show, because I wanna be able to dissect it, because there's a lot to unpack here due to the fact that when you come out to your parents, that is the toughest thing to do. And I'm saying that based upon me and my friends. Saying the word gay is the toughest word to reveal to your family and friends. When I told my mom, when I told my mom I was gay, in air quotes, I said to her, and I'm 25 at this point, I said, I like boys, because saying the word gay was so tough for me. So did you say to your mom and dad that I'm gay?
I did not. I did not. What I told him was, because, you know, I wanted to land this proverbial plane softly. I didn't want to be like, yo, I'm gay. And just be like, oh, what? Whoa, what are you talking about? You know, because that would have been jarring for them and a lot to have to take, you know, in that moment. So I just said, hey, look, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. They could just see the hesitation and apprehension of how I was approaching it. This was something weighing on me. This is something that I was scared to bring up. And I think mamas, they always know. And I think that they kind of they had a hinted that they knew what was coming. So when I said it, I was like, you know, the things y'all heard in the past, different things. I was like, yeah, it is true. You know, some of it is true. I've dated women, Carlos. Like, I had a girlfriend all through college, had a girlfriend when I moved to LA. My girl was going to come on the show. You know, I've gotten a girl pregnant. This is breaking news, but don't have the baby. So I just broke some news for you. I got a girl pregnant when I was 22. And, you know, she had an abortion without letting me know, but, you know, and my baby would be like 14 now. Sheesh. But yeah, so this has been my life. You know, my journey as, like you said, I have a hard time using that word gay because I feel like I don't like labels, because once you use that word, it's so powerful and people take it and they just lump you into this whole they lump you into something and seeing you as, even if you're not that. And, you know, I'm trying to break that. You know, as Black men, we always feel like we're trying to break that. I feel like we're so nuanced, we're so complex, and who we are, where we come from, and it's not black and white. But I also, well, do you want me to get into the show or no?
Well, yes, but before we get into that, because what I would like to do is break down the stereotypes of Black men who are gay. And the
Okay.
reason why I want to focus on Black men is because I am Black. And I like to talk about subject matters that I know personally. And one thing I know about the Black community, when they think of a gay Black man, and I'm just being honest, they think extremely effeminate. You know, even someone like me, I'm a feminine Black gay man. And I never could sort of hide or limit my mannerisms. So when I told my mom I was gay at 25, she was pretty much like, girl, we knew, like, because a Black mama knows her son. So going back to you, how would you identify yourself? Because you dated women, you've had sexual intercourse with women. Are you bisexual? Or would you call yourself gay? Are you non-binary? Is there a a label that fits Curtis Hamilton?
See, this is the thing, man. I've been given this platform. I accepted this responsibility. I'm trying to be careful. So when it comes to playing that, oh, I'm bisexual, I am this, look, would I still have sex with a woman? Absolutely. I would. Do I want to be with a woman? No. My feelings are more on the man's side. It's a particular time in my life. And I want to be very careful, like putting that out there that I am teeter-tottering, because I don't think that it actually helps someone that is having these same problems and same journey as me kind of navigate it. It just makes things more confusing. So I'm being very intentional in saying what I am and being proud about that. And it doesn't change. It doesn't make me less of a man. It doesn't make me less masculine. It don't make me less of a successful in whatever that I do, because if I say that I'm gay. But do I like to be labeled that? No, but I'm not going to come on and be like, I'm bisexual. Oh, I'm non-binary. It's just confusion. I always say I'm me. I like men. I want to be with a guy, but I still have attraction to women for sure. And it's not far-fetched that I would have sex with a woman again. I'm not going to lie. So, but it's like I said, I hope I answer that in a way that makes sense and that people were not
It
confused.
does. Listen, I think we now live in a world where, and I'm like you, I believe that you have to look at the individual. I don't believe that a label is placed on everybody, because we're all individual people. So you have to do what works for you. I appreciate your honesty. I am gay. I've never been with a woman, so nor do I want to be with one child. So for me, that's me. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that how I feel represents how every other gay person feels. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we at least got that out of the equation, because I wanted to make sure that you were able to tell your story and tell your story your way. One more thing I would like to ask. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad that you said that, because I'm not a social media dude. I don't get on the blogs. We're gonna talk about something that somebody did, because you saw it. I saw your comment. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But I'm not the person who gets into the blogs and talks like, you got something, if you want to talk about me, great. Like, do your thing. I'm not gonna really indulge in that way. But I didn't like how the show did, because they had Brad narrated and say 6 gay guys. I thought it was who hasn't even said how they identify. And I don't blame it on Brad per se. I really blame it on how they, put the show out there and how they're selling it. But, it is what it is. But, you got to be careful with that stuff. I like to say the word queer. I'm here representing young Black queer kids. That's why I'm here. That's what my mission is. That's my initiative. And that's what I want to do moving forward, is to, young Black queer kids who are figuring themselves out, whatever that may be. You could be one thing and be something the next. I mean, I get the stories that I've gotten in my inboxes from people that were married, now on the gay, or not on the homosexual side, and then people that still haven't come out, people who just came out but haven't told the rest of their family, just told their mom and dad, and that's it, nobody else. People that have similar journeys, religious stuff. It's crazy. People are really telling me their business. I'm glad they trust me, because I ain't gonna. I'm not the type to put that shit on my story, be like, look, what someone said. But yeah, it's crazy. I like the word queer more than I like anything, because I think that's the umbrella. That's what everybody can kind of sit up on, and you can be who you want to be. Just be honest and be, just be honest to yourself and be honest to others. And I think that's where, especially as Black men, we got to get to.
Oh, 100%. And that's why your bravery speaks volumes to your intention in coming out publicly. Because again, we've been friends for many years. I never asked you, it ain't my business. And what's interesting is, especially in Hollywood, there's a lot of people who you may assume to be gay, and they are not gay. And that's why it's very dangerous to place labels on people because of your own assumption. And what I feel like is important is, you obviously, and you still are, so I'm not gonna say was, I'll say is, you are a sex symbol in the Black community. Black women.
Telling me something new.
Oh, Curtis, please, let's have a real conversation. Curtis, you know good and dang well, your audience of Black women, they want to marry you, sleep with you, date you, have your babies. When you were you played Dr. Dre, this very hyper
I
masculine.
love my Black
uh
women, but that's the crazy part.
yeah, so but I want
Carlos,
to ask you this.
the funny part is when I was dating, I had dark skinned Black women. Those is when I dated, and I don't know, I always been attracted. Like Kelly Rowland was my thing growing up. That was always my thing. So I always appreciate it. I hope they don't turn on me though. Just tell them don't turn on you, boy. There's still love.
No, don't turn on Kurt. No, they don't turn. No, listen. My biggest fan base are Black women. Because I
They
am.
like messy. They like mess though. They
No.
you big bro.
No.
You be bringing all the receipts.
No, this is what it is. Black women love me because I am who I am 24/7. And because you have decided to be yourself in all forms of facets of your personality, they're going to love you even more. Now, look, obviously, there's a shortage of available men for Black women to date. So, yes, are some going to be disappointed? Absolutely. That's the world we live in. Knowing that your fan base, Curtis, is Black women who are attracted to you, right? You played roles of Dr. Dre. You were also on Kings of Napa. You also started Insecure. And when you came on Insecure, the Black Twitter went crazy. Like, who is this man? I love him. I want to be with him. Knowing that for the longest time of your career as an actor, you played the sex symbol for Black women to fantasize about. Was it challenging for you to know that if I come out as a queer person, is this going to ruin my career?
Carlos. All of these things that you're asking right now, I am living out and talking about on the show in real time. You know, this is your world. Reality TV is your world, and you get this stuff. You're not telling people what to say. I have no idea what someone's going to say to me, and my reaction is in live in real time. I'm not rehearsing that. I don't know what they're going to say. And for me, this world is so new. I was so scared what I was going to say because I knew whatever I said that was polarizing or was interesting in a way that even if it's damaging to me, they will use it. They will put that in there. You know, when I say just damaging, just something that's going to get a lot of attention, have a lot of opinions about. So, dude, my fear was I can't even measure it. I will say that during the show, and the only reason I'm speaking about the show with this question is because it was like therapy for me. I was so scared. You know, my agents didn't support me wanting to do it, and which I respected. You know, I didn't have anybody to really guide me with this. I didn't know these people that I was filming with, you know, especially the producers. I'm just meeting them, and I'm thinking reality TV is all messy. I don't know anybody, you know, that I'm filming with. You know, I don't know any of these people. I don't know what to trust, what not to, which is a lot of that stuff happened. You know, you've seen some of Dorian's news stuff, like you kind of see what was kind of happening during filming and everything. So I say that to say, man, my fear cannot be measured. I'm still scared. I mean, I still don't know where I'm going, if it's going to affect me. You know, I'm just hoping for the best. I did what I felt I needed, and I felt like I needed from myself personally and for my career. And I'm just hoping that leads to people respecting that and effing with me even more. Because I'm always gonna come to work and I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna put my head down. And ain't none of this is gonna even be addressed. Like I'm coming here and do a job, and you know I'm very professional in that regard. So and that's just where I'm just hoping. I'm leaving it up to the man upstairs to be like, take this wheel. Let me just go on this ride with you. And I'm hoping that, you know, the powerful, I'll be honest, man, the people in power. I loved it. Look, shout out to Issa Rae for coming on the show for me. She's so real, man. I could start crying about her because she's so real, so honest, so genuine from the moment I met her, and she's accepted me for me. Obviously not like sexuality wise, but she just loved me for me, and she didn't matter if I wasn't on her level. She was like, man, you dope. I like you. I like your energy. It's something, you know, and I appreciate it. And we became friends since then. But I'm hoping other big dogs come down and want to F with me. Y'all been asking for somebody to come out, not to hide and represent. Like, as you know, in Hollywood right now, that's the thing. We want people who are out and proud to play these roles. We want people who are not hiding. Well, I'm here and I'm ready to embrace it. So Tell your big dogs to holler at me. And I'm not, look, I didn't do this for no monetary gain because I didn't get making really, you know how this reality is. I didn't really make no money for this. So, you know, this was honestly, man, because I want to be a voice in the community. I want to be an advocate.
I love that. I love that. So let's get into the show because you said that in your personal life, you felt it was time for you to come out to your parents and your family, and you did that. How soon after you came out to your family were you approached to appear on a reality show? Dorian said the show was not called The Real Friends of WeHo when you guys were approached. He said it was supposed to be A-List LA, which is a show that was on Logo many years ago. And this show was supposed to be on Paramount Plus. So explain to me the time frame from you came out to your parents and when you were approached to be on this reality show.
So again, I came out to my parents last Christmas, which literally, you know, about 13 months ago now, almost. And the show came up probably around, because remember I went down and shot some Tyler Perry this past summer. I worked on Zatima season 2 will be coming out soon. And then I came back a month later, so maybe around August. So about 7 to 8 months. It was like late July, August, when maybe not that late, maybe July when they approached me with the opportunity, or June, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but it was probably about 6 or 7, 8 months after I told them. And that's when it came up. So it was still very, 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 very fresh. So, you know, when I brought it up to my brother, you know, my sister, and telling I was thinking about doing the show, but I also turned it down 5 times. So I kept, you know, teeter-tottering with it, didn't know if I was going to do it, but it was very.
How did they?
Afterwards.
Not to cut you off, but obviously you weren't out publicly. So how did the production approach you? Although you weren't openly gay, like did someone recommend you? How did that work?
Yeah, so a guy named Ryan, he's a DJ, and I'm friends with Lance Bass. So I've been friends with Lance for a very long time, and they approached Lance for the show. When I say they approached so many people for this show under the sun, I mean I saw Brandon Anthony say that he was actually signed a contract and then ended up in a film one or something like that. I'm finding out new stuff all the time. I'm like, dang, you was a part of it. Hey, because they were using my name to pitch to people. I found out like later on the production, not MTV, the production people. Yeah, it was a lot. You know, I don't want to get messy on this interview because I just don't want that, because I know they're looking at all our stuff and it's gonna go back to them if I say something, and I'm not just trying to, because Dorian there's a lot going on that side. So, but yeah, they asked everybody. So that guy knew that I knew Lance, and he asked me if I would do it, but they didn't know. Again, I don't talk about nothing, so they think maybe I'm like out proud doing my thing, but I'm like, I told him, I was like, no. He was like, oh, but yeah, I was just they were just seeing, you know, people that, you know, and they wanted somebody like similar to you, and I mentioned you or something like that, and I was just like, just send me the guy's info. So I just did an interview. I just did with the casting director, reality dude. I can't remember his name, but I just said I'll just do the interview. I ain't gonna get this. They ain't gonna pick me because I'm gonna be in this thing talking so hesitant, like y'all don't want me on y'all screens. I didn't think that they would. I woke up from that interview. I'm not gonna lie. Woke up out of bed 2 minutes before I got on the interview, and I was just like uninterested. And like a month later, I get a call. They're like, they really loved you. They would love to meet with you again, and like I think they want you on the show. I'm like, what? I was like, man, I ain't trying to do that. I said, no, I'm good. And then they came back again, and I was just like, all right, I'll meet with them. I did, and then I ended up getting maybe a week later. It's like, oh yeah, so they chose you. I'm like, what? And I was like, are you sorry? I was like, send a contract. I'm gonna see how much they're gonna offer. I said, heck no, I ain't doing this. Yo, I was like, nah, bro, what is this? You got me. I got an agent and a manager and entertainment. I was like, man, get out of here. So then they came out with another rate. I said, no, I'm not doing it. And they came out with another. I was just like, you have to understand that my life is going to change if I do this thing. And I don't even know how big it's going to be, but I'm not about to do this for pennies on a dollar. I said, understand that I know y'all not going to give me TV rate, episodic rate, 35, 40 an episode, you know, how that goes. But come on, man, stop with the disrespect. And I gave them my number. They gave it to me. So I put man, because I knew how fearful I was of doing this, and I needed, you know, I'm not over here balling, but I was like, if the monetary part makes sense, because I always wanted to be, like I said, a voice. I've been talking about this in my head and to a few other friends that one day I'm going to stand in my truth and I'm going to be somebody that hopefully people can look up to, because I never saw representation like me growing up. And the ones that I did, you would hear that they closet, they ain't gonna say nothing. They out here playing this da-da-da game. And I was just like, man, I don't want that to be for my, my legacy or my mark on, what I'm doing. Because acting is great. You can do acting at any time and it ain't going nowhere. But, we are in such a place in this entertainment business where the pool is so convoluted. It's not clear. Like this business, models, it's not clear. No one is a huge star. It's very hard to get that. It's the Will Smiths of the world. They don't make them. They don't do that no more. They don't invest in people like that no more. So you got to find your niche. You got to find where you can kind of make your own fan base, and then go from there. You talk about that. Like, yeah, find your love, find your peoples, and then go from there. You can go do whatever you want as long as you handle your business the right way. If you can act, you can act.
I could not. Yeah, no, I could not agree more. And the thing is this: you and I both know, and we ain't got to name names because we ain't messy right now. There's a lot, shockingly, right now. You and I both know a lot of closeted gay men in this industry who chooses to remain in the closet, whether that means they are married, have a girlfriend. And listen, I don't know whether or not they have told their women. I'm not involved in people's business. Oftentimes these women may know. Again, I don't know. I never asked them because, again, you and I both known each other for years and we never talked about it because I just want the world to know that in this business, especially in the Black community, you just don't talk about it, and we don't out each other. It's dangerous to out somebody when they're not ready. With that being said,
that ain't true. We don't out each other because we celebrate one another. But it is a lot. There's a lot of people, because that's some of my trauma, like growing up, where people tried to have when I was playing football in college. So I had that happen, and it's always comes from the Black gay. Like the one that my experience from coming up was the Black gays would always, even if I never did anything and they sensed it or they felt that they liked me, I always had a bad experience with the Black gays growing up, and I was always nice to them. Tried to out me many times, made up fake profiles, doing all this stuff. It was wild. I don't talk about literally all of that stuff on the show, but that's been my journey. That's partly why I kind of was just like, yo, like, dang, like, why? I don't know why you're doing this. What did I do to you? Why do you feel that this is something that you feel you need to do? And it's not helping me come out. It's not helping me join myself on your squad and your team to be like, yeah, I'm with y'all too. I'm like, dang. First off, I just like my stuff to be private. Second of all, it's just like, it was just mean, man. I had a rough one, like just growing up, not necessarily growing up, but just certain individuals trying to make it hard for me, lying, making up things. And, I was a star athlete. I was a football player. I went to college, went to the NFL. And they would always, it'd be like one or few, but they spoke so loud. They were so loud because people always probably already felt a certain way, thought that I was, and they were loud enough for it to circulate throughout the state, all the way back to my parents when I was in college.
Oh, so when you
go ahead.
So that's why you said earlier that when you told your parents, you said those things you heard back in the day about me. You're talking about that. So you know what's so interesting? Obviously, I'm older than you, although we look the same age, but I'm older. And
younger than me, baby.
Well,
you got that
I
beard, though. That's that.
I know, but I'm trying to get my sexy zaddy on.
Is it Daddy Carlos? They out here calling you Daddy Carlos?
Don't do it.
Because I know that bank account is long.
Anyway, it ain't about me. But I do sometimes wonder if it's generational. I grew up in the 90s as a teenager, right? And I do wonder if it's generational because what you said I've never experienced, so that's why I'm surprised that you've had that experience with people trying to out you, because I'll just say generationally, that's not something that I experienced with the Black gay community. We are all the ones that I know, and obviously we don't represent 100% of the community. Absolutely. But Um, my generation, I just know that's just something we just don't do. And there's tons, well, not let me not say tons. There's a couple of closeted gay black actors on television that we all know who chooses not to come out, and I think that's their right. And what I have seen isn't this sort of parade of outing them. So I feel sorry that that's your experience, but knowing that when you
Yeah, look,
decided,
again, this industry's different because people have stuff to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a
yes,
difference with that, and that's why you got to align yourself with people who got stuff to lose. Usually, especially in this business, you talk about it. You are who you keep and who's around you. And I just say that to say, like, I don't. That was when I was young, but it does affect like the things you go through and the people that do things. It affects how you look. If you have a terrible experience with a white person growing up, you from a majority black area, you probably gonna have a certain feeling about white people because that's you don't the ones that you encountered weren't the best. Because there weren't many gay guys where I came from. It was very few, and they were loud. You know what I'm saying? They were out there. They were very visible, very expressive and colorful. And so but the ones that was probably like me or not ready, I didn't even know they were because they not the ones being loud and being out there. So, but out here in LA, no, I think that you're 100% right with that.
when you decided to do reality television, because let's remove the sexuality component,
Docu-series.
right? Let's remove the sexuality moment for a second. When you decided, as a working actor, Curtis, we're talking about Insecure. We're talking about Kings of Napa that was on the Upper Winfrey Network. We're talking about you being in Money Long's video, another. You are still a working actor, but we know that reality TV has a negative connotation for some actors and for some people in the scripted community. Sexuality aside, when you decided to do reality TV, did you also feel that this may ruin my career because of what your peers think about this genre?
Absolutely. Like I said, if you watch the show, everything is in real time. I talk about it. I'm emotional about it. I probably cry or get emotional very much a lot on the show because of those fears. It's one thing coming out, but it's another thing to lose your job, everything you worked hard for. I've been out here for, this 11 years now, hustling. You always have been, gotta say that you always been so supportive of me and encouraging and like telling me to keep going. It's around the corner. You're going to bust out. You're going to, and you meant, this is meant for you. You're supposed to be, something. And I always appreciate it. So I say that to say, of course, I feel like I could just completely erase all of that by coming on a show with, that's a reality show, and then coming on a show that is talking about my sexuality. I'm addressing stuff like that. And not only that, like, I can't control nothing. Like, I can't control. I don't think I can control how I act, but you hear the horror stories about how they cut it, how they edit it, and then you just don't know how other people act. And look, some of the people on the show are like, like that is not necessarily probably what I would want for them, knowing that it's my brand is attached to the show, and I would want them to be cognizant of everybody's like brand per se, because I'm not coming on this to be a reality star. That's not why I did it. I wanted to come over and have clear intentions, which is what I did, clear conversations, and that's progressive, that we're going to walk away. We're going to all be better from it that can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what our response has been. So I don't regret it at all that I did it.
I love that. No, and I'm happy you did it because I can tell, me knowing you for so many years, you even feel like a different person in the sense of, I feel like you, this is my opinion, you have this sense of freedom, um, this aura of freedom
Brad said
that
that too.
yeah, you do. You really do. And not saying you weren't this happy-go-lucky. And like you said, you and I would talk for hours at the gym working out, and you will always say to me like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know, Los, I think I may quit," and I will always give you words of encouragement, like, "No, like you're about to make it." And this is before Insecure and all this other stuff. I would be like, "You're meant to be in front of the camera," and I will always say to you like, "I know your mentor and your role model is Will Smith. And I always said to you, when you told me that, like, I can see you having that career because you're a likable guy. Everyone loves you. And not only that, you're talented. So knowing that you've had the support with me and your friends and the community, have you heard from people in your scripted community who may have said to you this was a bad idea, joining a reality show or even coming out?
I mean, during the film process, I would tell them, I think for the majority part, I don't think they would say it to my face, but some would be like, "Yo, that's not my thing." But good for you. I think people are really just focused on me having the strength and the courage to come on here and to speak about this, and I think they respected it in that way. But when it comes to the scripted world, I mean, Issa's the only one that's been like, as she did on the show. We talked about it off the show before, and she's the one. She really is the one that had the tipping point of me doing the show. And she said, "If you have an intention." And you are strong about that, go do it. And she said, just, like she said on the show, if you watched it, don't become bigger than the characters that I would hire you for. And I completely agree. That's why I would never come on here acting a fool and acting a mess. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's been people that hit me up and they'll say like, yeah, it's not my type of show, but congrats or good for you. And I see your career still going up. Like, so I've got nothing to be honest, Carlos. Everything's been positive, and I hope look, I know it's not gonna stay that way, but I appreciate it at this moment because you know how these
It is
people are.
gonna stay. No, we're not gonna put that out there.
All right,
It
I'll take
is
it back.
going. No, I'm because I want you to hear this from me, and I want you to hear this from somebody who came out at 25. And granted, I've been like Carlos King since I was 5, but
Like
my
your dad.
personal journey, did not allow it for me to feel comfortable until I was 25. And I can share this to you in the audience. The moment I came out, I promise you this, my life and career skyrocketed because I had this sense of freedom. And granted, I came out back in the early 2000s and it was a different time and I wasn't famous like you are, but it doesn't mean anything with that. It means the fact that when God sees you living your authentic self, because you are right, we are born this way. None of us signs up to risk our safety, judgment, ridicule, punishment, all those things to be a part of a moment. We are born this way. And because God, and I'm so faithful and spiritual, because God has saw me live my authentic life and not hide, he's blessed me with more than I can imagine. So what I'm saying to you is, I think a large part of your stumbling blocks that you and I have spoken about personally when it comes to your career, I think a large part of that had to do with you hiding your authentic self. And God created you to have this platform so that you are able to be a messenger for other people dealing with this. And because God is seeing you live your authentic life and doing it with such bravery, it's less about the show. It's more so about how you showed up to be yourself. And because you did that, your career is going to skyrocket because you are living true to yourself. So I want to tell you that as somebody who came out and I've seen it happen to other people in our industry when they decided to like, you know what, F this, I'm going to do it. Their career became bigger and bigger and bigger because of that.
Carlos, and I appreciate that. You know how much I'm gonna keep saying, how much I love you. You've been such a amazing support and friend. So that's the goal, man. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave it up to that man upstairs. He's gonna take care of everything for me. I know why I did it. I didn't do it for any type of vapid fame and just to, that don't do nothing for your boy. I really do not care about all of that. That is not the life I want. I don't want you in my business just to be in my business. But I did it for a reason, and I hope that it does propel my career. So that's the goal. Like, I'm going to work towards doing what my initiative was, what my mission was, continue that, and I know it's going to help on the acting side. Because, like I said, I know I can act. I know I work my butt off. I'm trained, and I've been doing this for a minute, and I'm going to come to work very professional. And I just hope that it doesn't deter, like, people hire me as, like, as the leading man, or, I kind of feel weird saying that, but, just as the leading man of the show or the movie, whatever I used to do. Like, I hope it doesn't deter people from that, because it's acting. Ain't none of this real. Ain't nobody gonna probably end up with anybody they see on TV. They just love what they watching, and that's just what it is. But I still love my woman. I want y'all to know that. I still love y'all. It is what it is. But I'm just me, man, and I'm ready to show the world the full nuanced Curtis that I've been kind of holding back. And I'm able to talk freely in interviews about everything. Like me dropping that I had a girl pregnant. Like, I would have never said that probably before, So you'll get to know more of me. And I think that, like you said, that freedom bleeds into your art. And when you have that, that makes you scary, for real. When you got all that off your back.
Yeah, no, listen, you are changing lives, and you're changing the perception of how the Black community views gay Black men. Because again, they act like me or Billy Porter or like whatever the case may be. And I'm happy to know that you are breaking barriers with your honesty. Now, one more thing about the show is, obviously you're on Twitter, but you're not on Twitter, because one thing I need to know about Curtis, y'all think I'm private? Curtis has me beat. Curtis is very private, not just because of what he talked about earlier. He's like me. We just don't walk around telling people our business. We don't electively do that. So he is on Twitter, but he's not actively on Twitter like that. So when the show first was announced, it was a tsunami of negative tweets about this show. There's a couple of people on this cast, especially one, that folks just don't like. They don't like him. They don't mess with him. And a large percent of the comments was, I'm gonna watch this show. If I am gonna watch it, it's only to see Curtis, because I want to hear his story. And he's so fine. I didn't know he was gay. So yes, honey, we're gonna support Curtis. But there has been a lot of negativity just based on the poster and the name of the show. How did you deal with that, knowing that here I am being brave enough to do a reality show, then to also open up about my sexuality, and the first moment the show's announced, y'all got nothing but negative things to say. How did you feel when you were able to see that?
I said, dang, why did I do this? Oh my God. What is going on? Why did I do this? Why did I take this opportunity? This is not it. I don't want it. I don't these boys, these RuPaul Drag Race fans, they something else. They haven't been mean to me, but just to the show, baby, it's like the Bayhive. Look here. I was like, I wish I could speak and tell y'all what I know, what I signed up for, that I didn't know was gonna be in that time slot, the name check, all of that. I wish I could tell y'all, but I'm a team player. I signed up for this. I wanted to do well. I'm on the project. I'm not gonna bash it. It's not what I'm here for. But dang, they was going crazy. I was just like, what in all the hell did I get myself into? And then like you said, with the one particular guy, we don't have to say his name. We all know who he is, unless you want to say his name. But I didn't realize. I'm like, dang, what did he do in life? I had no idea that they hated him in this way. And I'm like, the guy that I met, he was sweet. Like, he did. Look, I respect it. I already knew some of them rumors, but I was like, I'm not even gonna go there, because I'm not gonna bring it. I'm not gonna bring a Black man down for the pleasure of somebody's views, and just entertainment. I'm not gonna do that. If the one of them white boys on the show want to do it, cool, go do your thing. I'm not gonna do that to you. Because that's just not my thing, because I do not want to see you down. I do not want to see you down like that. I was like, I don't. And I told him, I said, I'm not that type of dude, because he was worried. He came into this apprehensive, like, what you heard? I'm like, what you mean? What you mean what I heard? What do you heard? Well, I guess now that you said it, I'm gonna go Google you and find out. Let me go to Google and come back to you with what I heard, what I read. Like, but you get it when somebody lives in that world. I've never been that. So that's an uncomfortable place to be when you do not know how people feel about you, and you only feel that people feel negative things about you for the most part. Look, he has his adoring fans, but for that, like that's just uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna what you give me, I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And we became friends through it. I wish that he wouldn't respond to so much. I'm gonna be honest with you, like. Twitter fingers down, player. Put them down. Stop responding. Stop commenting on everything. Just let it go and let people just have their opinion, because you cannot change them by a Twitter tweet, a post, a visionary that is creatively funny. None of that gonna do nothing. They have their
No.
opinion. You gotta let them have that opinion, and you gotta let God take you and find people to, have remorse, understanding, and a way to move on. But your word ain't gonna do it. And you should know that. You've been in this business longer than everybody, but on the show almost. So, but everybody each his own, man. I just wish that there's peace found for him, and know that he is talented. He is loved by many, and just find a better way to navigate, this public stuff. Because, I for me it don't work. I just don't respond to stuff. If there's something
And
out
you
there,
better not. And look, I'm your mentor. You best not. And I always tell people, because people like to say things about me, and you know this about me too, Curtis. Curtis knows me. Curtis knows that Carlos wakes up early in the morning. He works out. He got his headphones on. He's a cool dude. You don't see him in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
100%, y'all.
Like
100%.
right. Let them know. I mind my business. So when people come for me, I'm gonna let y'all have it. Y'all can say what y'all want about me. I ain't here to defend myself, and I want to tell you this as you're embarking into this world of pop culture, because you are a trained actor and just a very humble private man. Do not allow some people on Twitter to take you out of character, because at the end of the day, you have more to lose than them. And I don't care if a celebrity tries to come for you, you still have more to lose than them. And you always have to know that when you put yourself out there in the public, you are on a platform for people to judge you. But it's up to your mental health, your sanity, and your faith to say, that's your opinion about me. But when I go out with my friends and my family, we ain't talking about this. No one, you will never meet a hater. Never. You're never going to meet anybody who has the bravery to tweet something about you and then to say it in your face. So don't even give that no energy.
Oh yeah, nah. At the end of the day, I don't got time. I just want to put positivity out here. I'm not perfect by any means. I'll be very clear. I got my demons in my own way, in my own right, but I've always lead my life with empathy, understanding. I don't care who it is, what walks of life you from. So, and I kind of treat that the same way when it comes to this social media stuff. It's just like, you must be hurting if you took the time out to say something like that, because I don't even know you, and you don't even really know. And especially when it comes to this TV stuff, you have to understand stuff is edited the way that they would like, and they take bits and pieces that weren't even like, so some of that stuff's not even real. So you just got to understand that and just let it be what it is. Look, I think I'm represented truly how I am. I think they've done a good job with that, but I also didn't give them too much. I have a few moments here and there. We keep watching the show with Brad, but that was just me on being uncomfortable, because Brad's very like talkative. He's like a question. He always asking questions. For me, I'm like, where I come from, we don't ask questions. You doing too much. Like, why you keep asking me questions? Like, I grew up where I grew up and playing ball in the hood and like in the parks and like being
Tell them
around
where
people.
you grew up. Tell them where you're from.
I grew up in Kentucky, West Paducah, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? But my mom was a school teacher. She's actually a white school. My dad owned the auto repair business, was struggling all his life with that. And, and I got a brother and a sister and another brother and sister that are older. But my dad has 3 baby mamas. So Yeah, I grew up in a place or small community. It wasn't too small, like the fourth biggest city in Kentucky, but we mostly, for the most part, knew each other. We all kind of grew up together. My dad would pick up all the kids from wherever they be, from the suburbs to the projects, and he would have this big van, and we always was around each other. So, we just didn't talk. What you talk, like they say, snitches get stitches. You know that. You run your mouth, something gonna happen. And you're gonna have to, look, I didn't grow up poor or none of that. I didn't grow up with money, but I didn't grow up poor, but I grew up in a way like, yeah, man, you can't just be out here. There's consequences for running your mouth. And then it's just bad juju. Like, if I'm trying to bring you down, I just feel like something's gonna be coming my way that I just really, really don't want. And it's gonna come when I'm unexpected. And that's just always my mentality, man. Like, if I'm getting pleasure after seeing you being brought down and to be destroyed, or people to have to cause a wrath to come to you that's just not healthy, it's gonna come back. It always comes back. So, and that's just how I think of things. But I just forget all of that. I just like, man, I know I was raised right. And that's how I try to lead this. So that's why when I think with this show and I talk about my family, it's because I was raised. I got amazing parents. Do I think they did everything right? No, but no parent does. But they did raise me to be a respectful young man and carry myself in a way that people will want to work with me, that trust me, and and all of the things. They raised me in that way. It's up to me to carry that legacy on.
One more question about the show. If you guys get a second season, would you come back?
That's a great question, Carlos. I guess how could I answer that? Obviously, now that I've done the show and the network has been they've told me that who I represent on the show and what I did for the show. So I got some little leverage there. I'm gonna stay humble in that regard. But if I could come back and I can still have other conversations that I would like to have and also promote things that I want, whether it be on the work side, friend stuff, bring in different people, I would be very intentional about what I would do the show for. I'm not gonna just come on here just to be on the show. Like, I'll take the check, if it's nice, but I do not want to just be doing stuff to be doing, especially when it comes to reality. Like, I need to understand what I'm walking into, then I'm gonna get something across that I would like for the audience to like have conversations about. And like, I'm still living in real time, player. Like, this is new to me. My parents haven't even asked about the show. Not said a word. So I'm still living it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I've come out to them and they still have not talking about it. They still not being really included. My mom just, they doing what they do, but I respect it. Like I said, I met them where they at, and I'm going to leave it at that until they're ready to have those conversations.
Yeah, no,
and it'll
happen.
So if I did the show,
yeah. Yeah, and that'll happen. That'll happen. It takes time, but listen, that'll happen. For any question everybody has is our mutual friend Justin Sylvester, who, if you know Justin, Justin is one of the nicest people in the world. He's a sweetheart. He's a good human being, but he's also silly and he likes to have fun. So Justin posted a picture of the two of you recently, and it made Black Twitter. It made the neighborhood talk. Hey, Kyle. It made is it Kaylin Allen, who we follow each other on Twitter. I'm gonna show you a picture. He's an amazing actor, entertainer. He also co-hosted Ellen DeGeneres show.
Kaylin. I thought you said Caitlin. Yeah, Kaylin. Yeah.
Oh no, Kaylin. He's a sweetheart.
I'll tell you.
Yes, he's a sweetheart. So the folks got mad, like, wait, is Curtis off the market? So are you and Justin Sylvester dating?
No. Let's be very clear. No. I would never. What was the operative word that we started? No. What's the operative word that we started? My private life. I would never get on social media and say who I'm dating at this point in my life. No, sir. That ain't happening. That's just too much. People too nosy. I would never. So I say that to say, do y'all want context, or do you want me to go along with it? Because I don't know. It's for me again. I don't really address things. I made a comment. I don't know if Justin deleted it. But Justin is Justin, man. He's probably one of the most sweetest, funniest dudes you could ever meet in your life. I'll start there. I love him. Like, we've been knowing each other for a very long time. Obviously, Equinox family in that regard, and industry. Ain't many black people in Equinox is in the industry that are doing something. So, so we all kind of know each other that go there. And I was at Craig's, and so I'm gonna break the news because I think he's when is this dropping? This episode?
A few that, like, maybe Tuesday.
Okay, so he said he's gonna do something on Monday, so I'll go ahead and give it to you. So we was at Craig's. So I went out with Brad, my castmate Goreski. Shout out to Brad, and then Joey Zazig is also on the show with me, and they wanted to go to Craig's. I had never been to Craig's. As long as I've been in LA, I had never been to Craig's, the infamous Craig's. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, all the paparazzi be. You see it all the time. So I went with them. And we did E-News the day before. And Justin's like, oh, I'm going to be there with my girl. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, cool. He's like, well, I see y'all when I'm there. I'll come say hi, And Justin, we did talk about, like, they always talk about how, like, black man be with another black, person and all of this stuff. And Justin's always making jokes. And he said, like, we should, be together, like, be fun. He was just being, I said, boy, you so crazy. And, I just started laughing. And, I didn't think he was being serious. And he walks out with us. Paparazzi walk out and just, what is happening right now? Like, they don't know who I am. I'm just gonna keep walking. And I walked out first, and then Joey and Brad. And Joey's like, he wants all the TMZ paparazzi. He's just like, give it to me. And I'm just like, bruh, your ass need to shut up. Go sit down because you're doing too much. This is not, you do not need to be going to TMZ because the show is still it's a little tender, baby. It's a little tender. You're doing too much. Let the show run and speak later. I was like, he wants it. So he called paparazzi, I think. Maybe he did. His didn't call it, but I think Justin called his. So we walk out. Justin doesn't initially walk out with me. He's like few bodies behind me. And next thing you know, somebody grabs my hand, and I was like, what is going on? And he like runs behind me and grabs it. So you see, he's in front of me, and I'm not even smiling. I'm just kind of like chilling, even though they called me the gun angle. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, dang, is that me?
You look great. The cheekbone was boning.
Man, I was like, is that is it edit? I look like a model. I shout out to Justin for making me look like, I don't know. I had to second guess myself. I was like, oh. And the colors, I ain't gonna lie, I was giving them Christmas in January. I was like, okay. Had the green shirt, but yeah, he grabbed it, and I was just like, what you doing? He's like, go with it. Just go with it. I said, go with what? He's like, so then this dude sprints in front of us and starts. I was like, oh my God. I said, man, don't know who I am. He's like, it ain't gonna be nowhere. So I keep walking him down the street, and I'm just chilling, because I love Justin. We got a good relationship. And he's like, keep walking. I was like, man, I ain't walking with you no more. I'm gonna go back and, I'm leaving. I'm getting the car and go back to valet, get the car and leave. And I'm not thinking nothing of it. The next day, I'm at my shoot because I shot Without Magazine yesterday. And I get a text from Justin and showing the picture. I said, dang. I said, wow. Did he say, oh, the paparazzi sent this to me? I was like, you are hilarious. He did not tell me he was posting it. So Kaylin hits me up and says, oh, yeah, I'm giving y'all the tea. Hits me up like, is this real? I said, what you talking about? So I click on the little link he sent me. He said, what is going on here? I said, what is happening? I said, wow. I couldn't believe it. My heart dropped. I was like, yo, Justin is crazy. Wow, this dude is wild. I could not believe it. So I was like, what do I do? What do I do moving forward? Should I like shut him down? And then I'm like, this is Justin being Justin. But at the same time, I'm like, Kurt, this is part of what you need to be comfortable with and just have some fun. It's entertainment business. Like, what's going on. And if people don't come to you asking you if this is real or not, what are you tripping about? Like, just go with it. So we just like, let's just have some fun. So he put it out there. I was just like, whatever. I ain't gonna make him take it down. I was like, do what you want to do. And it blew up. I saw. Got like, shit, I don't know. 30,000. I don't know what it was, bro. He got like so many likes on his page and like 2,000 or 3,000 comments. people that, and also people that I know that know we're not together. Like I just saw Adrienne Balone. You know, obviously work. She know we not. She commented on there, so it was. You know, I'm interested to see, what did he tell you? Did he talk to you about it?
No, because I like you, I know Justin, and I know
Got
you, and I know y'all ain't together. Again, it's what you
it.
said. There's a small sector of Black people who go to Equinox in West Hollywood, and we are all like family, whether you gay or straight. When you a Black person that goes to Equinox, we immediately like, yo, what's up? You good? Which is why I want the world to know. Like, you came up to me like, hey, you like guy from Hollywood Divas, right? Because when we see each other, we kind of support each other. I know Justin personally. Justin's a goofball. So when I saw it, I was laughing at it. And I texted him this morning only because I said to him, you broke the internet. He laughed because we all know it's silly. But Kaylin, who I love, the fact that Kaylin hit you up, so it, does Kaylin have a crush on you? Like what is that about?
Oh, real quick. So Kayla's mom. So Kayla's, you know, obviously from Kansas City. I don't know if you know that. So Kayla's mom, yeah, he's from Kansas City. Kayla's mom is so my cousin is Kayla's godmother. So my cousin is best friends with his mom. I didn't know who Kaylin was. I did not know who he was, but one day he followed me. I was like, I always see the blue check because it goes to the priority at the top, and you kind of be like, who is this? I was like, who, man, this is for 1.4 million. And I started looking at it, oh, he's on Ellen. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I never seen him before, but I was like, he's a lot. He's hilarious. So I didn't respond at the time. I didn't follow him right away. And then, I kept seeing him like looking at stories and different. So I was like, my cousin, not the one that is his godmother, my other cousin Mia, who's in the show with me, the Black one, you'll end up seeing her, Mia Hamilton. She said, oh, she's like, I see Caitlin like your photo. She's like, he's best friends. Like our cousin is his godmother. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna follow him back and just send him a message. And that's how we kind of got started. So I met Caitlin not probably right before I started filming this show, and I told him as well because he didn't know, he had no idea, and we met outside of 8,000 Sunset, and we just kind of talked, and we just clicked. It was just hilarious. We just got along. I was honest with him. Caitlin was trying to that little all the okay, honey. I was like, oh, this bug. He tried to read me, I think, but I found it hilarious. I couldn't do nothing but laugh with that country accent and just the way he was dressed and all. I was like, man, I like this dude. This dude could be my friend. He's hilarious. I don't know what his intentions are, but we got close ties with family. I'm gonna make him my friend. So we just became friends. We FaceTiming every now and then. And when he saw this, he texted me and he was just like, I know that boy ain't. I'm not gonna tell you what he said because that's just not. I'm not gonna do it. I am not gonna do it.
Kaylin, don't shade Justin. Justin's a sweetie pie. He's my friend.
No. It's not really shade, but they're both hilarious in their own right. Kaylin is hilarious because Kaylin is very honest. You know that. So he's very honest to me, and then Justin's more of like the charmer, the one that's like, he's not really like. He's not gonna like cut you. Does that make sense? He's not gonna like.
Yeah.
Justin's like very silly. It's just kind of hard not to. But I will say, Kaylee was just like, this is not the right time to be doing that because he's like, because on the show I am living in real time. He's just like, that's just this type of energy. He's like, you don't need it right now, and he was being very honest with me. He was just like, you are very vulnerable right now, and there's somebody playing with that and capitalizing. And I was just like, I get it, but I was like, it's just Justin. He's like, no, I don't like it. I was like, I feel you play. He was like, I'm gonna post a picture of me and you. And I said, do what you need to do. I said, y'all are crazy. So we just had fun with it, and it's hilarious. I'm not mad at nobody. I love Justin, and I'm loving Kaylin, because we've been knowing each other like about a year now, and I think they're both great and they're successful, and I root for them both. And it's just fun. People do it all the time. Look, shoot, white folks do this all the time. Taking pictures with people they know they're not with, and having fun with it. So we're gonna
100%. No, and like I said, for the record, I just want to say it again. Justin is a fun guy. He didn't mean no harm by it. He's having fun. And Justin, obviously is great at marketing. And I think that was his way of like helping promote the show because he posted it like a few hours before another episode came out. So Justin just being Justin, he's a good guy. And Kaylin, we love you.
Absolutely.
But this is all fun. It's not even like negative shade. So with that being said, though,
They look, they did run with it though on the internet. They said, "Oh snap!"
oh no, because again, the
I was
black
getting
gang
stuff
was
from all
like,
over people like, and I didn't even respond to some people. I was like, I don't know what y'all really think I would get on, come out with some who I'm dating that quick. Y'all know better, but it's funny.
so.
I'm still laughing.
But with that being said, you said earlier you were dating somebody when you came out to your parents.
Mm.
Um, that was 13 months ago. Are you dating someone right now? Are you in a relationship?
Well, we were kind of dating. We were kind of on outs, but I'm talking to somebody. I think this experience is going to open up me to because I want kids, man. I'm dropping all the stuff on you in this podcast today. I want kids. I want to, I want a healthy relationship. I want that. I want the model of tradition, traditional and what I kind of grew up on. But obviously, it's not traditional if it's with two men. But you know what I mean. But I want the kids, man. I love kids. I really do. I think that's the greatest blessing you could get is a healthy kid that you can mold and kind of shape into how you see you would want a human being to be. And that's where it starts. So I'm always just like, well, if you want one, make one. If you want one to be like what you think it should be, go make one and teach them the things that you were never taught or you never experienced. So that's why I want one. I just love kids. So but right now, no, I'm talking to somebody, but I'm not. I won't say I'm in a relationship. There's no like boundaries to what I can do and can't do. So, but but once I like somebody, I'd be like this. I be zoomed in. I don't play around. But I'm also trying to like free myself up with that. Like relationships, whoever you're supposed to be with, it'll happen. It'll happen naturally, and that person gonna understand. And I would never one more time. It won't be on the internet. Who I'm like and who I date will not be on the internet, especially when I'm on this show. Heck no. Hecky to the no. So if you do see something, you can have fun with it, but it ain't gonna be true unless it come out of my mouth. But I
Yeah,
want
no,
kids.
and that's my advice to you. Look, I'm in a relationship and I don't. I know. See, no,
What, bruh?
see, no, I'm with you. No, look,
Wait till I get
and
up.
that's
Wait
the
till this interview done. I want a photo.
ah!
Don't play with me. I'm texting you right
No,
now, so I don't get delayed. I can get it right away.
no, but that's the reason why. And he's serious. He's really texting. No, but that's the reason why you and I are cool and we're friends because we have the same sort of tradition in terms of my personal life for me, and everyone's different. That's off limits. I'll give y'all everything about me. I'll talk about my experience and all this other stuff. I don't post who I'm with. I don't talk about it. I've known Curtis for a couple of years. I gave him a bomb today. He didn't know. I just choose not to talk about it. I'm very, very protective of that part of my life because when y'all see all the shit that I get, y'all expect me to break. That'll never happening. So my advice to you, as somebody who's also private about that, is that's the best thing you can do because that's another form of attention that I will say for myself. I'm not ready for that. I won't ever be ready for that. Y'all ain't getting that out of me ever. But I will give you y'all just not. Y'all ain't getting that. I'm sorry. And for the record, he is black.
Hey, you look, and that's the other thing. You better be black because you already know they ready to cancel. They ready to
he
get
is.
rid of you. It's like, man, love who you want to
Yes.
love, but at the same time,
Oh no, I know. I'm being silly. But no, he's
No,
black.
no,
He
no,
has
right.
no. I'm just saying. He has Jackson 5 nostrils. He's a Negro. In the words of Beyonce, it's a Beyonce lyric. If you're gonna come out, Curtis, you have to know all the Beyonce's lyrics. I like my Negro nose for Jackson 5 nostrils. Yes, so he has all of that. and he's African. But anyways, enough about that.
Go ahead and put a picture up so we can see. Come on, give it to us. I know. Look, let me see if I can see.
You can't see it. No, trust me.
Let me see if you slipped up and got something back there that I can see.
I've been doing this for a long time, baby. You ain't getting that. So look,
probably right there in the room right now. He probably listening right now, like, hey, Negro,
like,
come on through the window. Come through the door.
Right. Like, you better. But no, do you have a type? White guys, black guys, Latin guys, all guys. Do you have a type?
Hey, episode 2 aired last night. I said I'm all over the place. At this point in my life, you got to just fit me. You got to complete me, make me feel good. We got to celebrate one another. We got to root for one another. We got to build one another. I want a partnership, and that don't come with a color. So I'm trying to be more open with that as well. Like, we all have preferences what we naturally attracted, but sometimes it ain't working. It just ain't working. So trying to be more open with that, because I'm stubborn. What I think I want and what I actually need. So I need more than I want, because you be wasting your time out with a lot of the wants. They just don't want be wanting. They just don't be doing it for you. You gotta get what you need to complete you. That's how I feel. My attraction is like all over the place. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna give you types that I like, because that's just messy right now. But just say,
is it Justin, Kayla?
Shout out to Kaylin. Kaylin is crazy. I love him to death. That man can have me laughing. Just the moment he open up his mouth, I just start laughing. I'm like, boy, you from Kansas City? Are you sure you're not from the tip of Texas? Like, that man is so funny. And him and Justin.
I know. We're gonna have to. So all 4 of us need to go out to Craig's, just the 4 of us.
Oh my God, let's do it.
Yeah, so Justin and Kaylin, I'm gonna hit y'all up. I don't have Kaylin's info, but we follow each other on Twitter. So Curtis will hit up Kaylin, I'll hit up Justin, and the 4 of us will have dinner at Craig's so that we can support each other, have fun, hold hands. Hold hands. I don't have the paparazzi information because again, I definitely about that. Yes, exactly. And I'm Matthew knows. Okay, so Curtis, I'm Matthew in this motherfucker. Be clear.
You will be Matthew. Who will be Beyonce though? Who's Beyonce of the group?
Well, Kaylin.
Just be honest. I'm fine.
No. Kaylin is obsessed with Beyonce, and I don't want to be on Kaylin's bad side because he can read. So Kaylin is Beyonce. I'm Matthew. You are Kelly Rowland, because you mentioned her earlier that you love a chocolate girl, and that was her crush.
I love Kelly.
And Justin's Michele, so there you go.
Justin gonna tear you up when you hear this. He's Michele. We love Michele, but Justin probably think he Beyonce.
Justin is Tina Knowles, actually. That's the gag.
We love all of them. I ain't gonna lie. Like I obviously love Beyonce. Who doesn't like Beyonce? That is the given. But Kelly was I was like, oh, Kelly's so sexy. But Michele held her on. I don't care what nobody say. She didn't really hold her on.
No, we love Michele. No, Michelle's the best. Please don't play.
Michele
don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, 1000%. So, Curtis, what is it that you want people to know to support you? Is there anything you have coming up? You mentioned a Tyler Perry show, Fatima season 2 that you're going to be part of. So let us know what you got coming up on the horizon.
Well, just that, like filming wise, I did 4 or 5 episodes of Tyler Perry's Fatima season 2. Yeah, it's a little small part, But shout out to Tyler Perry. He did direct my scenes, and I love that man. Just really quick, the way he moves, how he does his business, and how he goes about it, having that big studio down there now, man. Shout out to Tyler Perry. It is just admirable and just wow, impressive and just mind blowing to think that this man went from where he was to where he is now and how many people he's employing. So shout out to Tyler Perry. And then that man, I did a short film that I'm trying to get to do a feature. I don't know, we talk about on the show called Dick Control. So it's just kind of like a misogynistic kind of rapper, kind of like, that treats women bad. Basically, he messes with his girl, they curse his dick, it don't work no more. So he got to learn how to respect women, starts reading books, start learning how to respect his assistant and different people, and he humbles himself. And then once he does all that, starts working again, blah, 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 blah. It's just kind of a comedy that just kind of plays on the rap culture in these 2000s. But so I'm working on trying to get a feature of that. But now, man, I'm just really just trying to using this platform, to get out here, get out in the streets and talk about my story. And hopefully that leads to, I want to start a nonprofit that's leading towards helping people find their truth. I don't know. I've thought about a few names. I don't want to say somebody might steal it if I say it on here, but before it gets out. But yeah, I want to work on some type of initiative, some type of nonprofit that's going to be lending towards young Black queer kids, and how I can do to use the position that I've chosen and been blessed to have, to start targeting that and help them, man, navigate this crazy life that is ahead. Because I wish I had it, But I also am very grateful for the journey, because of all the knowledge I've endured and the things I've gone through has only made this exterior and this knowledge in my head much more greater. So I'm happy that I waited as long as I did. As crazy as that sounds, I'm kind of happy that I did. I wasn't ready back then.
And you can't rush it, and that's why I said to you earlier, you seem more free, you have this aura of freedom, and nothing but good things are going to start happening for you like they were before, but it's going to be compounded, and this insurmountable amount of blessing is going to fall into your lap because of your honesty and your integrity, in addition to your bravery. So I'm proud of you as my friend. I love you, brother. So thank you for coming on Reality with the King. Who would have thought Curtis Hamilton?
Not me. Not ever. I was scared of you. Shoot, are you crazy? I used to be at the gym, be like, I don't know. Does he really want to be my friend? Is he trying to figure out my business? I was like, Carlos, I see you on the reunions, nigga. You messy. Real messy. I don't know what to trust. He may expose me because I was very sensitive out here. I was like, I think this nigga know, but he ain't saying nothing. But I think he just playing it cool because he good at this. So let me just play cool and make no enemy out of this dude. Then you became such a positive, reaffirming, just amazing person that I'm so happy to have in my life. So yeah. But I will say really quick.
Go ahead.
I told Issa I want to do a rom-com with her. So I'm putting it out there on this podcast so Issa can hear it one more time. Me and Issa we're gonna do a rom-com together. She hasn't said it, but I'm saying it, and I told her that. And we're gonna kill it. So we want that. We want that for the culture. So y'all can see my comedy side. Like y'all see me serious a lot, but I'm very silly in pretty much my everyday life, I feel like.
Issa Rae, we want it. So if you're listening, or the team at Hooray, who I love as well, I love all her team at Hooray, Color Creative. So Issa, if you're listening, we need to do it, and I need to produce it. And I want to play a character in the rom-com. I want to play the messy journalist or something. Or Issa's executive assistant, something.
Oh my God, you be so good at that. Thinking about Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
The Black version. And you was the assistant. I love. Oh, hold on. You be the publicist, but say if Kaylin is the assistant.
Oh, yes. Kaylin's the assistant, and you said the publicist?
Publicist. Or somebody that works, you always do the everyday stuff, but you see the mess. You kind of give like little hints and, little sidebars. But Kaylin is the complete mess. Say anything and just all over the place. But who would be the mean boss of Devil Wears Prada? Who would be the mean?
Angela Bassett.
Ooh, yeah, you can't lose with that. I would love to see her in that role. That would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
I want to see. So Angela Bassett plays Meryl Streep. So no, we're gonna figure this out. I want to give too much away, child, but we're gonna figure this out. So Color Creative, Hooray Media, my girl Talitha Watkins at Color Creative. I'm gonna call you, sis, and we're gonna figure this thing out.
I love it. We got
All right.
to.
Well, thank you, Curtis. I love you, brother.
I love you too, man. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime.